The Metro Rail has quickly become the ultimate urban solution for city transportation, transporting scores of people while being greener and cleaner than most of the other transports. Undoubtedly, megacities the world over are increasingly relying on the metro system. One of the newest Indian cities to join this elite list is the city of Nizams, Hyderabad.
Infrastructure like the metro rail is really necessary for a city like Hyderabad that is exponentially growing. Hyderabad at one time, as you know, has been a very small city, but today if you see the population, we are close to 12 million. That's a huge, really a huge number.
The city's glorious architectural past is now evolving into a modern marvel with arterial metro rails. Connecting the city of Nizams, Hyderabad Metro Rail. The world's first metro system, the Tube, was founded in 1863, which is still popularly used as the London Underground. It has since grown to 270 stations, over 400 kilometers of network, of which 45% are underground. It has successfully helped people commute all over the emphatically growing city of London then and continues to do so even to this day. This includes illustrious cities such as Paris, Hong Kong, and Singapore. Metros have been serving as lifelines in urban spaces all across the world. Coupling its minimal carbon emissions with fuel efficiency, it is undoubtedly the answer to the mass commuters' problems in cities. India is the second most populous country in the world. Some expert planners have unanimously zeroed in on the metro system, and one of the most solid and lasting solutions, which in some Indian cities has already become a reality.
I think infrastructure like the metro rail is really necessary for a growing city like Hyderabad. Metro rail per se, at least according to people like me who have been giving strategic advice to cities, we think that this kind of infrastructure really pushes a city towards becoming sustainable. Sustainability is nothing but looking at three critical components. I think the first thing is about economic development. And when we say economic development, we mean that look at infrastructure like a metro rail. It connects places and it connects people, aligning with the most important concept called the transit-oriented development, which perhaps has been the driving force for economic development in most parts of the world. And a metro rail can very conveniently be said as a critical piece of infrastructure that infuses economic vitality into the city. So that's necessary. The second cornerstone of sustainability is about environmental protection. And when we say environmental protection, again, all these vehicles are actually spewing carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, polluting the environment like anything. But an infrastructure like the metro rail can really address that. And it's going to really, hopefully, bring in a lot of clean air into the city. The third and the most important thing is about equity. Public transportation, to a large extent, is a leveler. When different segments of society start using that, there's a huge scope for interaction, and people with assets and people with less assets can actually keep using this transportation. And I think all the three cornerstones, like economic development, environmental protection, and equity, can be addressed very, very beautifully by this piece of critical infrastructure like the Metro Rail.
The Mayor of Hyderabad helps track the changes and the growth of the city.
The city of Hyderabad has grown rapidly in the past decade. There are around about 4,000 buses that are piling on the city roads. As we see the 2011 census, there are around about more than 8 lakh four-wheelers that are running on the city roads, and it is growing rapidly.
The IT boom has ensured that the city attracts scores of people from all around. The migrant population has risen to 24% and is only growing.
Cities like Hyderabad, Mumbai, Bangalore, they have really become very, very large cities. And these cities, unfortunately, I mean, there's a paradoxical situation here. The cities are economic engines of growth, contributing more than 65% of the gross domestic product. But the very same cities are suffering, and the potential is going to be reduced drastically because the infrastructure is not really, let's say, robust.
Actually, the traffic is getting pretty bad. As you go over the years and over the days, it gets congested. Traveling just about a little of a kilometer takes you about 15 minutes, which will only take you a minute.
I'm a college student and I travel to my college on my bike, but it takes around 1 hour to travel only for just 10 kilometers.
With the increasing number of people in the city, traffic congestions are in dire straits. With an eye on the future, a mega solution for the pressing problems of the people of Hyderabad was envisioned. The plan was to work in a private-public partnership, or PPP module, to provide a solution that would once ease the traffic woes of the city, while paving the way for futuristic development as well. Hyderabad has taken a new step towards urban development and now joins an elite list of mega cities that subscribe to this integrated transport system. While on the one hand, Hyderabad was awarded the Best Heritage City in India for the year 2010-2011. It has also provided for modern visages along its landscape. IT and other industries have since thronged to this futuristic city.
Hyderabad is one of the largest cities of India. We have various monuments like Charminar, Qutub Shahi Fort, as well as Golconda Fort. Similarly, we have the capital, which is known as IT City, and therefore the new addition, Metro Rail, is going to make it even more attractive.
The defining magnitude of the project was realized when it was pronounced the largest PPP project for any metro rail across the world. The government had to find an able and reliable partner with the wherewithal to do all this and more. After a two-stage bid process with 8 pre-qualified bidders tested on various parameters, one company was to be selected as the private partner to the government in building Hyderabad's Metro Rail. This Herculean task includes a design, build, finance, operate and transfer model, and the Hyderabad Metro Rail Limited was set up at the exclusive Metro Bhavan. This is where L&T comes in, one of India's biggest players in the construction industry. The Hyderabad Metro Rail Limited provided avenues for restructuring and redesigning of the city. The aim is to rejuvenate the city, not only helping people seamlessly commute in a better way, but also providing for urban redesign and therefore a holistic solution to help the city progress. But upgrading a living city has its own limitations, and planning becomes a key factor of the project. L&T has been the name behind many iconic infrastructure projects. Their expertise in various projects like highways, flyovers, ports, and airports, etc., now comes together for this holistic Hyderabad Metro Rail project.
Hyderabad Metro, which is being developed in 3 corridors with a length of 72 kilometers, is in line with the vision of the urban planners. It will definitely ease the traffic problems and also will lead to the balanced development of the Hyderabad city as envisaged in the master plan.
In a private-public partnership project, the government and a private company work hand in hand for progress. With a healthy partnership, the dream began to grow. With L&T's approach, it was going to give Hyderabad a makeover.
Now we are going to take Hyderabad to the next level. Bringing this metro project is not only going to move people quickly, but this is a project with integrated approach with the commercial development, the transport, the improvement in the economical conditions and environmental conditions. All these factors are going to change the life of people.
The commitment on behalf of government and on behalf of L&T we want to give you is that we will commission the first line on dot, that is Ugadi gift in 2015.
That makes it a project that is truly for its people. It is something that will change the very face of the city of Hyderabad. The Hyderabad Metro Rail is a cutting-edge infrastructure development project and the largest of its kind at the time of bidding. L&T has planned the Hyderabad Metro Rail in such a way that it crisscrosses across the city, connecting residential areas to commercial ones, both for business and leisure. The 3 tracks run from Miapur to LB Nagar, from JBS to Falkunuma, and from Nagol to Shilparamam. The Hyderabad Metro Rail is an infrastructure project to improve efficiency of commuting across the city. This means that it will have to be connected to the existing forms of transport in the city, such as the MMTS and bus or road transport services. Hyderabad hosts one of the largest intercity bus terminals in Asia, and the new Metro Rail will only further improve its capabilities. The Metro Rail had to be envisioned in such a way so as to connect the entire city when it is ready, but with minimal disruption to everyday life while it is being built. The planning of every little detail, be it traffic deviations, to optimum track connectivity, to efficient development spaces at the transit locations. The toughest part was bringing the project on ground.
What we did was initial traffic survey. We surveyed the volume of traffic, we surveyed the nearby alternate routes, we surveyed the existing extent of road, whether any strengthening is required, etc., etc. We studied the entire aspects of the traffic. And then we prepared a traffic management plan. Some places we found out alternate routes, some places we widened the road, some places we strengthened the existing roads. We also did one more thing, and that is the major material movement. We restricted to the late part of the night, from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. And that is when the major shifting of elements, segments, 50-ton weighing segments, all these were shifted during that period. So these are all the various measures that we took to keep the traffic flowing smoothly and freely.
Once all the groundwork and homework is done, the construction itself of such a large project is no easy task. There are so many parameters to keep in mind when designing a project of such magnitude. The construction that will span the city will require phenomenal quantities of raw material, efficient planning and effective management to not only complete but also ensure the safety standards while sticking to the timelines.
Mega projects such as this also involves materials which is required in mega volumes. For instance, take concrete for instance. We need to have at least 1.5 million cubic meter of concrete to be poured in this project. Now just to give you an idea of this, it can go very well into construction of at least about 50,000 houses. That means it is equivalent to building a small city. Now which means we not only have to look for the producers who can give this kind of mega volume but also of required quality. For instance, for cement, we have gone for a company called Ultratech, and they have always given us whatever volume that is required from us at the right time.
For this mammoth metro rail project, segments were fabricated across 2 sprawling precast yards, strategically located in 2 different parts of the city. The precast yard consists of 3 casting bays of length of about 580 meters. Adjacent to it, reinforcement and stacking bays are built for casting the precast elements with proper ground control. For reinforcement of bars, shuttering, concreting and curing, and finally stacking of segments as well. It is 12 o'clock in the afternoon. The temperature is soaring, but the concrete temperature of segment casting needs to be maintained below 30 degrees Celsius. Covering transit mixers with moist Hessian cloth will help in maintaining the temperature of concrete and to ensure solidity to the segments. Shifting the segments to main casting bed happens using match casting technique, in which the previously cast segment will act as a support for the new segment. All segments of a span are cast on a fixed bed for successive casting operation. It is ensured that the casting profile exactly replicates the profile of the alignment, where the segments are finally going to be erected. The state-of-the-art process doesn't stop at construction of the track. The Metro Rail will run through 64 state-of-the-art stations at an average distance of 1 kilometer. These stations are integrated with the existing transport systems and are designed to host a high frequency of trains. As against conventional stations built merely to serve as boarding points, the stations have been designed to serve as development hotspots similar to those abroad, like Hong Kong and Paris. The stations promise facilities of international standards, designed to make travel easier and faster. When it comes to maintaining the high standards of experience, like you would abroad, Hyderabad Metro Rail involved Keolis, a French company with a lot of expertise in the field of operations and maintenance of passenger railways and stations.
Well, Keolis today operates in 15 countries around the world, and that is in over 100 cities. We operate on 4 continents, and we operate all modes of transportation. We operate metros, but we also operate trains, buses, tramways. Anyhow, irrespective of the cities or the countries, what matters is the passenger, and the culture that we live by is thinking like a passenger and making sure that the trip for the customer is both safe, pleasant, dependable, and that's what we strive to achieve everywhere. Well, the first value added to the common man will be the very metro operation itself, which is going to weave the social fabric of this city, which is going to be a time machine for the inhabitants through the dependability of the service and its ease to use. It will change the life of the people in Hyderabad. And specifically, as far as Keolis is concerned, this will happen through jobs. We'll learn skills in both customer service, maintenance, operations, which will be valuable not only here, but also for hopefully other Indian cities that want to operate metros, or cities around the world that will look at this example.
L&T provides one-point solution to not just manage the project, but also run it post-completion. They have rounded up the best of talent and resources from across the world to provide a metro rail system that is well-rounded, comprehensive, and ready for the future. The metro facility has planned for a comprehensive security system that will ensure safety of all passengers. The facilities are friendly to the differently abled as well, to make sure that the metro truly touches the lives of every citizen of Hyderabad. The metro rail will run in bursts of 3 minutes during peak hours and 15 minutes during lean hours. With special emphasis on being a better way to travel, L&T's metro project is going the distance in ensuring it is a holistic solution. The on-ground work is steaming ahead. Reducing carbon footprints and carbon emissions are key considerations in today's growingly degrading environment. The metro provides a solution in reducing carbon emissions and making for a less polluted city. And of course, it is common knowledge that public transport reduces the need for individually owned cars that further reduce carbon emissions as well. To go one step further in making sure that there is no damage in the process of bettering the city through the metro rail, L&T took certain unconventional steps. Additionally, over 50,000 saplings have already been planted. It seems almost idealistic, but the solution is very real. This additional green cover, coupled with the other positive impacts that the metro will have on the environment, Hyderabad is set to be a greener, cleaner city in the near future. With this in mind, and to familiarize the people of Hyderabad with the routes that the metro will take, comes the next big program. The Hyderabad Metro Connects program was to bring together cycling enthusiasts from across the city. They organized a cycling event that ran along the different phases of the metro line, coded as blue, green, and red lines.
It started with a theme that metro was being constructed. In the initial phase, it would be a hardship for the citizens, but then ultimately it's a great infrastructure for the citizens of Hyderabad. So how can we connect to people so that they see this in the right light, which is that the metro is a good thing for Hyderabad. And the initial step of the evolution was a series of cycling events that would go along the different metro lines and would open up the eyes of the people and the minds of the people to various possibilities that a metro can bring along. and cycle would be right as, as an integral part of that.
Cycling too provides for a cleaner mode of transport. The Hyderabad Metro Rail is building a facility to park bicycles at stations so residents can cycle to and from the short distances at some metro stations. This will further go a long way in making Hyderabad a better city in the future. The events saw participants sharing the passion for a greener, healthier tomorrow. This is the largest PPP Metro Rail project in the world, so people become an integral part of it. And to achieve that, Hyderabad Metro Rail took some innovative steps to bring each Hyderabad resident closer to the project. Some never-before experiments have made this project a part of their life even before it's ready, touching every segment of the citizens. This project is adding a new chapter in social engineering. The L&T Hyderabad Metro Rail was a first-of-its-kind private-public partnership project, both in terms of scale as well as a precedent in the metro sector itself. This project is the largest PPP of its kind that was planned to address the needs of the people more effectively and efficiently.
So as a part of, while preparing the master plan for Hyderabad city, so this concept of transit-oriented development was introduced, where the certain area around the traffic transportation nodes was declared as a special zone, where you allow high-end mixed developments such as residential, commercial and office spaces, and also with high density. While planning and implementing the Hyderabad Metro Rail project also, this concept of transit-oriented development was taken into account, and they have planned certain mixed development around the Hyderabad Metro stations, Hyderabad Metro Rail stations, which are now being developed.
Being the largest PPP project of its kind, there was a unique opportunity to reach out to all the denizens of Hyderabad and really make a difference to the people and the city. The teams came together to think of innovative ideas that go beyond mere construction. Ideas that ran into programs, projects and campaigns to involve every citizen of Hyderabad. Some of the campaigns to get people to hop on board include the HMR Brand Ambassador Campaign, the Game Changer Campaign, Metro Nukkad Natak, Hyderabad Metro Connects, and Metro Chronicles Through the Lens, to name a few. The first idea to make this happen and connect with the people of the city of Hyderabad was the unique and creative L&T Brand Ambassador Campaign, where the true consumers of a citywide initiative were the face of the project. To help understand their needs and address them during the making of the project, proving the adage, truly for the people.
So brand ambassador, normally what happens is the general concept is that you have a celebrity, you import that celebrity and say this is my brand ambassador. We said that no, we are going to do something different because this project, as I told you, is for the people. So we say that we will create the celebrities. So we had a brand ambassador campaign across the citizens of Hyderabad. All the Hyderabadis were invited to participate on a competitive mode.
The idea was to give the people a chance to be brand ambassadors for one of the city's biggest infrastructure projects. The initiative gave people the pride of being the face of development in their own city. The idea was to cover all segments of society, so the campaigns were run separately for school students, college students, senior citizens, housewives, executives and entrepreneurs. This was to unearth the faces of Hyderabad. The campaign was a huge success and saw registrations across the city. Massive planning and meticulous details helped shortlist based on their aptitude towards being a brand ambassador. It also brought the project closer to the people of the city, while simultaneously learning from them. It was a unique campaign and was designed where the face of the common man genuinely represents the core of the project. Testing them on various parameters such as personality, stage presence, oratory skills and talent.
Bismillah.
81 of the most appropriate individuals made it to the finals, leading through an exciting grand finale. After finally combing through the talent across the city with much fanfare, these 8 deserving candidates were crowned brand ambassadors of the Hyderabad Metro Rail.
Our metro in Hyderabad will do the same thing and make Hyderabad a cleaner and greener place for us to live in.
I'm fascinated and excited to be a part of this People Connect program by L&T Metro.
I wouldn't have considered the fact in my wildest of dreams that a huge organization, a huge corporation like L&T Metro would choose brand ambassadors from the common people, from school students like me. But it did happen, and to be a part of such a huge project is something very special, a dream come true.
Hyderabad Metro Rail also involved corporates of the city. To understand what solution would keep their life in the fast lane ticking, the Game Changers idea became a corporate campaign to the working community of Hyderabad. This is the face of Hyderabad, the people who are working towards making Hyderabad a city to reckon with.
It was a privilege to be part of the Metro Game Changer, and good opportunity to be there and hear what Metro Rail is going to do in the city and how we as a corporate can benefit by what's coming into the city. We benefit not only in terms of reduction of travel time, reduction of travel cost, and also security.
The Game Changers campaign helped to develop effective strategies and solutions to make Hyderabad Metro Rail even more efficient.
And I think the project, the reason we take pride is, one, it's a good project. I think everybody likes any kind of massive infrastructure. And this one is very visible infrastructure. I mean, we're just seeing every pillar from the foundation through the pillar coming up, and it's a very visible project as well. And I think everybody also believes it's going to change. Until 3-4 years back, most people were staying in the central part of the city. And it used to take, a long commute was a 40-45 minute commute. And there was a long commute, and people would sometimes complain and decide to move. And that 40-minute commute became 1 hour, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, and about 3-4 years back became almost like 2 hours. Sometimes, at least once a week, they get stuck in the traffic for 2 hours. And slowly now we have that whole part where 80% of the workforce was in that part of the city has all moved to this side of the city now. And that is, destabilizing, disrupting. If you've lived there for a long time, you have your whole social support, education, everything set up, and you have to disrupt just because of the commute.
To further connect people with the Metro project, another idea, Nukkad Natak, was born.
With the help of Nukkad Natak, we have created awareness about the Hyderabad Metro Rail.
Street plays that reached everyone to showcase how the metro could change their lives too, not only in terms of increased employment, but in its overall capacity to develop the city. The Nukkad Nataks, or street plays, were both entertaining and educative, but making sure the metro project reaches everyone. All the campaigns were designed to reach out and connect with the people of Hyderabad, and the results were very visible.
My city, my metro, my pride.
Another day dawns in Hyderabad as the magnificent sun rises above the splendor of the Hussain Sagar Lake. With the first rays of the sun, the towering statue of Buddha looks on as the Hyderabad Metro Rail project speeds to completion.
This is the largest metro project ever taken in the world at single go. This is 71.6 kilometers of the track with 66 stations, 3 lines, which covers the greater part of the greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. It surrounds the famous lake and it really outreaches to the external municipal corporation limits.
As the city is in the threshold of change into a mega city of the future, it is but right to chronicle this transition. It is in this endeavor that L&T started the Metro Chronicle through the Lens initiative. The idea was to capture snapshots of this beautiful city for posterity. The aim of the project was to showcase the different modes of transportation since 1760s to the present time Hyderabad. To chronicle the change, the people of Hyderabad were invited to send in their entries, the best of which will feature in an exhibition at an art gallery. Photographer Aravind Chenji is one of the participants documenting the progress of the Hyderabad Metro Rail.
I've been shooting pictures of Hyderabad Metro Rail for the last few months. I'm so excited about this project. As a photographer, I feel that it is a part of my job and duty and responsibility to create images of this whole thing. Metro Rail have also come up with the concept of doing a museum or an art gallery where they will put up these pictures, and I'm going to be pretty proud that my pictures are going to be put up over there.
In this short time, the work has been underway and the Hyderabad Metro seems to be near completion to launch the first phase of the metro.
So the idea is basically to have an integrated transport system for the city, which will not only give people easier movement, faster movement and a predictable transport, at the same time the environment of the city will definitely improve.
The Metro Rail will contribute a lot in the city growth and development. It has become a part of our life, not only the kind of infrastructure, but the way it is growing day by day. We are eagerly waiting for the completion and starting of the Metro Road. Once it is started, it will contribute towards the city development in a very great way, and we will definitely be welcoming it.
The metro is now on the brink of completion. L&T is testing every single aspect to keep it in line with the established standards of safety, and the test runs have proven that the Hyderabad Metro Rail is ready to go. It embodies its vision of my city, my metro, my pride.